Today I would like to show you a programmer from a different angle, not just at the keyboard but also on a bike. We will see whether an ordinary programmer, someone who spends more than 8 hours a day at computer, can ride a distance of 100 kilometers. I want to cover the entire 100 kilometers in the Zwift app without any break. I picked a flat route called Tempus Fugit that's just under 20 kilometers long, which means I will have to do more than 5 full laps here. I am deliberately not riding in a group to make it a bit harder, because if I rode with a group it would be easier. I could tag in behind other riders and sit in the aerodynamic slipstream. That way I could go a few kilometers per hour faster while producing the same power. As for comparing distance on Zwift versus the real world, I have to admit it feels a bit easier here. I suspect you can go 1, maybe 2 kilometers per hour faster at the same power. Though I've never actually tested it, that's just my impression. By the way, let me know in the comments what's the longest distance you have managed to ride. Show off your results, it'd definitely be great inspiration for others. On the screen you can see the Zwift app, so you can follow my ride in real time. On the left, for example, you can see my current metrics such as current power in watts, cadence, crank revolutions per minute, heart rate, average power and calories burned. In the center you can see current speed, the number of kilometers covered, which is what we care about most today. Then total elevation gained and ride time, so you can keep track of this all on the screen. I am aiming to cover the whole route in about 4 hours and keep an average speed of around 25 kilometers per hour. If you want to tackle a longer distance, you can't go all out from the start. You have to pace yourself across the whole ride. If I did a few sprints at the beginning, I probably wouldn't make the full distance, or it would be a very hard and unpleasant ride. So I will try to stick to a steady, moderate tempo. Of course, I will be honest with you. As I mentioned, I am a programmer and I really do spend over 8 hours a day at the computer, but I also work out regularly. Cycling is my hobby. It's not like I just got up from the computer and immediately threw myself into a challenge like this. I have been preparing for today's ride. I've prepared 2 bottles of water with an isotonic mix, plus as a backup an extra 1.5 liters of mineral water. Hydration is very important during a ride like this. I've also got 4 bananas ready. I plan to eat of them after about 2 hours to top up calories, so I don't run out of fuel for the full distance, and if it gets tough I have 2 more in reserve. This is really crucial. If you want to go for a longer ride, you must hydrate and replenish calories. Without that you won't manage, and it will have a negative effect on your body. I also have 2 fans running the whole time, 2 towels and a phone to watch some videos or listen to music. That's my setup for this ride. What will be the hardest part of this ride? If I keep an easy pace and hydrate and fuel properly, the toughest thing will probably be staying in the same position on the bike. There will definitely be the classic sore butt, but I will try to change position from time to time and ride out of the saddle so the pain is less bothersome. I usually try to stand up for about a minute, at least once every 15 minutes, and that way my butt gets a break. The first hour of reading is done, so let's do a quick recap. I managed to cover almost 27.5 kilometers in that time, which is a bit higher average than I planned at the start, but I feel good at this pace and I think I will try to hold it to the end. I burned 334 calories, not a lot for an hour, but I am riding at a moderate pace, so the calories aren't climbing too fast. My heart rate is around 120. I am pacing myself, so for now it's good, but I know this is just the beginning and there is still a lot of riding ahead. Since we have a moment, let me tell you a bit more about the Zwift app, because after the last video I got a few questions about it. Zwift is typical SaaS application. It means software as a service that runs in the cloud and lets you train cycling and running in the virtual world. If you have been following me for a while, you know I also built my own SaaS apps, and Zwift is a great example of one. It's an app that has achieved major success. Zwift is used by both amateurs and professional cyclists. Over 3 million people already use it, covering billions of kilometers in total. So it's absolutely not a niche gadget, but a serious training tool. I use Zwift myself because it allows me to ride regardless of the weather or road conditions, and in Poland that's often a challenge. For me it's a great solution, especially when the weather outside isn't good. If you want to start your adventure on Zwift, you need just a bike and an interactive trainer, e.g. a Wahoo Kicker Core, the one I use myself. You will also need a device with the Zwift app. It can be a computer, smartphone or even Apple TV with internet access. Zwift is a paid app, currently about $20 per month, but there are also free and very good alternatives like my Whoosh. I've tested various options and for me, despite the price, Zwift is still number one. It's worth emphasizing that there is a very large community here with different groups you can join for group workouts. And I'm already at the halfway point, 50 kilometers done. I managed that in 1 hour and 50 minutes, so the pace is still satisfying. If I can keep this pace to the end, I will be happy. In that time, I burned 609 calories and my heart rate is still around 120. I feel good, but the first sign of fatigue are appearing. My butt is starting to protest from sitting. This definitely isn't an office chair. In a moment, while riding, I will eat 2 bananas that should help me regain some energy and should be enough for another 2 hours of reading. I will also take up to a 5-minute break for a quick bathroom stop. I know that for many beginners 100 kilometers can sound like total abstractions, but relax, no one says you have to jump straight into that distance. If you are getting up from the couch after years, the best start is really easy, 10, maybe 20 kilometers. It's like learning to code. You don't start by writing your own game engine, but with simple apps step by step. After that first ride, it's worth noticing how your body reacts. Maybe your legs hurt a bit, maybe the saddle isn't the most comfortable, and that's normal. Then you can gradually increase the distance, 30, 40 kilometers, until eventually 100 kilometers no longer looks like Mount Everest, but like an ambitious yet achievable hill to climb. The most important thing is to start and not get discouraged. Every kilometer is already a win because you have doing something good for your health and mind. And I guarantee the satisfaction after that first workout is huge, even if it's only 10 kilometers. I have been on the route for 3 hours now, and in that time I've covered 82 kilometers, burned over 1000 kilocalories, and from what I can see, my heart rate is now almost up to 130. I won't hide it, fatigue is kicking in. Obviously my butt hurts the most, but surprisingly my hands do too from holding the bar, so I'm changing my grip more often and trying to ride out of the saddle more. My jersey is soaked and so is the towel. It's getting a bit tougher, but the important thing is that the finish is close, so I definitely won't give up. 90 kilometers behind me, so only 10 to go. I have been riding for 3 hours and 16 minutes, and in that time I've burned 1124 calories, heart rate around 130. The finish is definitely close now. Even though it's not easy to sit on the bike for so many hours, I know I can do it. The very fact that I'm recording all this and will show it on YouTube is an extra motivator, and that gives me strength too. 99 kilometers done, so I think I can start celebrating. I will definitely make it to 100. Awesome, we did it, 100 kilometers completed. I managed it in 3 hours, 36 minutes and 10 seconds. Calories burned 1257. I admit the final stretch was tough, but the most important thing is that it's done. I will do a quick summary in a moment, but now it's time for a short rest, some food, and then I will have to get back to work. Here you can see a summary of my workout: 100 kilometers, time 3 hours and 36 minutes, average power 97, which is quite low, but over longer distance pushing higher power could end badly for me. So I am definitely happy with this result. You can also see that I burned 1204 calories, which is just a bit over 4 slices of pizza. It takes some work to burn off a meal like that. In this chart, you can also see my heart rate throughout the workout, the red line, and below it the power output. Zwift rates this workout as 69 stress points, which really isn't much. You can rack up about that in an hour of hard training, but as I said, if I had ridden harder here, I probably wouldn't have managed so many kilometers. This kind of session is good for building an aerobic base, the foundation for stronger, e.g. interval workouts, and for burning fat without grinding yourself into the ground. During the ride, I drank 2 bottles of isotonic drink and ate 2 bananas, so everything went according to plan. What was the hardest part for me? The biggest issue was definitely a sore butt. 3.5 hours in the saddle really takes its toll, especially on a trainer where the position is even more static. Besides that, hand pain and leg fatigue, I think that kicked in around 85 or 90 km. From that point on, it was a bit tougher. If I had to, probably yes, but it definitely wouldn't be enjoyable anymore. I'd be fighting pain and fatigue. In that case, I'd need to prepare more food and drink. Maybe in the future I will go for a longer distance. Let me know in the comments if that would be interesting for you. For today, I wanted to ride 100 kilometers and I did. I am glad I prepared a few YouTube videos to watch beforehand. Thanks to that, the whole thing flew by. It feels like only 1 hour passed. Although I admit that sometimes I prefer to ride in silence or with music, and it's a great time for reflections. That's when lots of cool ideas pop into my head, which I jot down on my phone, so I definitely recommend workouts like this. Thanks for today. In future episodes I want to record more cycling challenges as well. Be sure to write in the comments what challenge would be interesting for you. See you in the next episode.